Hey, how y'all doing today, Sunday? Yeah, I'm gonna be speaking on faith. God really got me stuck on faith because faith activate everything that's going on in this Bible. And so in my post, I had did a video where I did a post where I was speaking on people that don't have faith cannot be around me. You just cannot be around me. Like it's not. I can't get nothing done. Like God is not gonna be present in that atmosphere if I'm around people with no faith. I'm gonna talk about the daughter that died. Because I kept saying the daughter that died, but I got a daughter that died. So it kind of correlates, so to speak, with what's going on with that. But, God, because I just move, do what I do out here. And like I said, I really don't take no for an answer. And so my daughter, she had open revelation. She was like, God said that you bring dead things to life. God, that what she was telling me. I never paid attention, but it have been instances where, I go somewhere and it'll be dead, like my dog. I had a dog, and he was on his deathbed. And so he on his deathbed, he bleeding blood. He really don't have to. Like, he really was there. Even the doctor was like, so I told my kids, I was like, well, let's get a new dog. And so when I told my kids, let's get a new dog, everybody was sad and crying. They were like, we don't want another dog. We want Morty. His name like Rick and Morty. His name Morty. And they was like, we want Morty. We don't want nobody else. And so at that point, after we got the results, or the doctor gave us, the devastating news about our dog, and I offered, hey, y'all, let's get a new dog. They ain't want that. So then I was like, dang, I guess I got to go put Morty on the altar. I guess I got to go pray and put Morty on the altar. So I was like, God, because I ain't really got no elaborate words. Like, these people who, like, I really just come to God just as he is, really. I just be like, God, my kids say they don't want another dog. They say they want Morty. This is what I'm telling God. I said, God, I told them we can get a new dog, but they said no. They want Morty. I said, and the doctor is saying Morty is taking his last breath right now as we speak. We need a miracle, God. I said, our house is devastated. I said, my kids sad right now because they want Morty, and Morty is dying. He's on his deathbed. We didn't hear nothing new. We didn't get no good news about Morty. The doctor only had bad news for us, and my kids love Morty. Morty bounced back like that. I had to put him on the altar, but before I put him on the altar, I asked the kid, I'm like, do y'all want a new dog? And they was like, no, we want Morty. I was like, well, I guess I got to go pray for Morty then. And then another instance with my snake. And so with my snake, he wrapped himself, he was the sweetest thing ever. Like, sweetest thing ever, my butterball. He was the sweetest snake I ever had. Like, yeah. And the kids even fell in love with him. Like, I'll be at work, they'll be in and fed him and everything. Sometime my butterball, he'll be out his enclosure. I'm like, where my snake at? My snake be slithering through the house. Oh, yeah. So my butterball, he wrapped himself around a lamp trying to get warm, and he had 3rd-degree burns all over his body. A part of his side was actually wide open, like it was a real open like hole in his side from this. And so I took him to the vet. So when I take him to the vet, I'm like, look, my snake not eating. Right then they did was feel like laughing. Ha 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 ha. I was like, dang, what's wrong with y'all? What y'all laughing for? They were like, girl, your snake. They like, you see this right here? You see that big hole? I'm like, yeah. They like, girl, them his lungs. They like, your snake, his chance of survival is very low. His lungs are exposed right now. This is what they tell me. So they give me the report. And so they was like, we can we can try to give him antibiotics. They were like, you have to bring him up here twice a week. We'll shoot him on one side of his body. We have to alternate the shots on his left side and on his right side. And you know, we'll try to go through this process. They like, but his chances of survival is extremely low. He got burnt very badly. I was like, well, shoot, that's what we rocking with. That's what we finna do. We finna, whatever y'all say we need to be doing, that's what we finna do right now. He bounced back like that. He was like a brand new snake. Yeah, my butterball was like a brand new snake, but I had to put him on the altar. And I remember when I was younger, y'all, my best friend, he had a dream about me. And he was like excited. Like, I still don't know what he saw. But when I was like a teenager or whatever, he was like, "My Sheena, I had this dream about you." And he like, everything was dead, but you brought it back to life. He like, everything you will put on the altar, it'll be dead, and you put it on the altar, and he like, it'll just come back to life. And so he was ecstatic, and he told me this like when I was kids. So with God come to me, tell me I bring dead things to life. It brought that dream up that he had gave me back when I was a kid about he saw me bringing dead things to life. He said in the dream it was 3 things that were dead, and he said all 3 things came back to life. I still don't know what he saw. He was more excited about the dream than me. I'm like, so what you see? What I was doing? I did what? He like, everything you would put on the altar, everything would just come back to life. He like, you'll put it on the altar, it will come back to life. So I'm learning about altars and God. And so like, even with Morty, I'm like, I got to put him on the altar so I could put him before God, so that, you know, God can heal him. I did the same thing with my butterball. I'm like, my God, they tell me my butterball, my sweet little butterball, the most precious snake ever. The sweetest snake ever, God. They telling me he dead. But I'm put faith in what they tell me I can do right now. They saying the chance is low, but this is what they telling me. I'm gonna put faith and back up what they telling me we gonna do with this, but the chances are low. They even laugh and like, huh? Like, just go back, you a new snake. I don't want a new snake. I want butterball. So I'm gonna put butterball on the altar, cause butterball, his lungs, everything gets exposed right now. He lived with us a long time. And the thing about butterball, or just snakes in general, because he ended up dying because in the previous, when we had a real bad ice storm, snowstorm, we was all in the dark, and he ended up dying behind it. But in the process of him dying is when Fluffy had her little puppies in the cold, in the dark, no power. He died, but she had little puppies. And Morty came from the little puppies. So y'all, I'm kind of took. And then when I look back at the situation that did, I go before God and I put on the altar. God hearing my prayer. Like, God heard what I'm talking about out here. He like, okay, what going on? I'm like, God, I done heard some devastating news right now. But with my daughter, it was the same way. My daddy was the same way. My dad was like, well, God got to change your heart with your situation, because my daddy went and prayed in intercession. Then my daddy came back to me and told me about my daughter. But with me and God just taking my daughter, I'm at peace with my daughter, because I don't have to worry about her getting to heaven. She's already there. Now the 5 I got here on earth, I got to worry about all them getting back to heaven. But that one right there, the one that died, the one that God took, I don't have no worries with that one. That one good. It's the 5 that's still here on earth. I be like, look, y'all, we all got to get back to heaven. We all here on earth, but we all got to make our way back to the Father. So I stress about the 5 that's here, but the one that God took, I'm at peace with that one. Because I know she in a good place. She ain't have to deal with being in this wicked world and having to choose God. She ain't have to go through this whole process. She good. So I'm going to speak on the daughter that died. And before I get into this daughter that died, you know, I had a dream. Because people be talking and they be like, oh, Satan, I don't never have nightmares. That's first thing. So people who be talking about Satan can get to them in their dream, it's something going on with you. Because you got the Holy Spirit. You not supposed to have no nightmares. You ain't supposed to have no nightmares. Satan cannot intercept my dreams and jump into my dreams. Like, he do not got clearance to do that. Some of y'all get Satan too much power out here. Satan do not have no type of rights. God said no, he's off limits. The same way he told Job, you cannot kill him. With Satan, he cannot do nothing dealing with me in my sleep, in my dream, period. Like, it's nothing that Satan can do when it comes to me when I go to sleep. I do not have nightmares. Every time I go to sleep, I'm with God. All day, every day. All day, every day. If I go to sleep, I'm with God. So all day, every day, even when I think God not going to show me nothing, I see something all day, every day. It's not one day that I'm not with God and God don't come to me when I close my eyes and go to sleep. My daddy, he was like, you be so busy during the day. You be so busy. The only time God can really come to you is when you sleep. So that's me and God's time. That's why you can, if you interrupt my sleep or do something dealing with my sleep, I get extremely mad. Like, do not disturb my sleep, because that's me and God. And he come to me all day, every day. All day, every day, I'm going to see something going on with something. When I was younger, I saw a big, huge angel at the front of my door. I saw a big, huge angel at my bed. Can't nothing come into my room when I'm asleep. Like, ain't nothing allowed in there. And when I was speaking on yesterday, the video about the astral project, how demonic, because they counterfeit what God do. So what God allowed people to do naturally, Satan created a counterfeit for it. And through the Holy Spirit, you could travel. You could time travel. Jesus time travel. Jesus time travel all the time. God got superpowers out here. Where you think these movies came from? It's God. God got all power. Everything, ain't nothing off limit. When I read yesterday, they say nothing is impossible. Like, God time travel. And certain people who God give us the ability to, through the Holy Spirit, they time travel. They ain't walking around with no trying to hope don't nothing hijack their body. Can't nothing hijack your body. If you got the Holy Spirit and God allow you to go to certain realms, can't nothing get near your body, touch your body. You ain't got to worry about something jumping on you and you got the silver cord and you ain't got to worry about none of that. Y'all giving Satan too much power out here if you do it the legal way. If God give you clearance to do it the legal way and God say, yeah, this is good in my eyes, you don't have those type of worries. Like, you just don't have those type of worries because you got the Holy Spirit. You got angels. Like, I'm looking angels all around the front of my door when I sleep. Angels all beside my bed. Like, they ain't nothing getting near me when I'm asleep. Like, ain't nothing getting near me. Ain't nothing coming in that room. God got my room guarded. And then one time recently, I had went to sleep, and in the dream I was in the vision. I don't think I really be in my body half of the time, y'all. Really, I just say vision dream because God put it in the form of vision dream, so I be at peace. I don't think these be vision dream for real. But I'm gonna keep it at how God keeps showing me in the frame. He put it in vision dream. So in the dream, I'm asleep. So in the dream, I'm sleeping in my bed. I wake up. The first thing I do is go look outside my window. When I go look outside my window, it's fire all around my house. All around. Can't nothing get past that fire. It kind of remind me of Moses in the burning bush, but the bush wasn't consumed. Like, this fire, it didn't consume the house, but it was this huge hedge of fire all around my house. And it was like, ain't nothing coming in and ain't nothing going out. So I don't know how the spiritual is, but I seen fire all around our house. Like, ain't nothing come through that fire. I don't know what other kind of creation God got out here. Ain't nothing coming into that fire into that house. So when people be talking about, ooh, I don't have nightmares. So people like, ooh, you got to figure out if it's Satan. I don't got to figure out if it's Satan or God come to me in a dream. Because Satan can't come to me in a dream. He not allowed to. It's no way. It's impossible. Now, I don't know what you got going on. But with me and my God, It's impossible. God, the only one that gonna come to me in my dreams and give me vision dreams, like it come directly from God. Ain't nothing else got access to even tap into this. Unless I make a covenant with the dark side, unless I create a covenant with Satan himself, and I ain't got no kind of contracts going on with Satan can use my gift out here. So Satan do not got access to use my gifts out here. He just don't got access to do that. So people be like, I had nightmares. So you think everybody? I don't have nightmares. So just because you have nightmares, you can't assume that everybody got to use discernment to test the spirit to see what's coming to them, what's not coming to them. Cause I look at my front door of my bedroom, fully protected. Angels all around that door. Ain't nothing coming in that room when I'm asleep by my bedside. Because I think I was healthy hair woke when I was younger. And when I was healthy hair woke, I could see like in between the rims, and I could see a huge angel right there at the door. And I was like, ain't nothing coming in this room. They got my door guarded. My bed too. So while I'm asleep, the angel that's guarding my bed, that's watching my body, ain't nothing coming near it. Ain't nothing. Ain't none of that going on. Y'all get Satan too much power out here. Satan, y'all got him thinking he could do more than what he could do. God is the all-powerful. All-powerful come from God. And if God say, you don't have to have a dream, and then every time you have a dream, you got to try to figure out who the dream came from. Like, what is you even doing? If you doing all that, something wrong. Because you got the Holy Spirit dwelling within you. Ain't nothing, the Holy Spirit ain't letting nothing. Ain't nothing coming from the outside. If you got the Holy Spirit right there with you, and you protected, like you fully protected. Yeah, y'all. Okay, let me go and get started on this. Because I'm going to read 3 different angles. Because I was speaking about the daughter that died. Oh, yeah, one more thing. I was having another dream. I have dreams nonstop, y'all. So I just go on and on and on. But one dream I was having, I was speaking to the angels. And while I was speaking to the angels in this dream, they were telling me, they was like, the daughter that you named after the daughter that you died. That's how they kept saying. They say, the daughter that you named after the daughter that you died. That's how they were referring to one of my daughters. And I couldn't figure out who they were talking about. I'm like, what is y'all even talking about? But then when I woke up, I realized I did name one of my daughters after the daughter that died. And I was laughing so hard when I woke up. I'm like, why I'm walking around here confused when I know I named one of my daughters after the daughter that died. Like one of my daughters in the dream, the angels never called my daughter by her name. They were just like, the daughter that you named after the daughter that died. The daughter that you named after the daughter that died. That's how they kept referring to one of my daughters. And I'm like who is, like, which daughter you talking about? And then when I woke up, y'all, I'm like, I did name my daughter after the daughter that died. She got her name. I was tickled. I was tickled in that dream with them angels. Like, why are they playing with me like that? Like, why you just didn't call her by her name? Like, why would you refer to her as the daughter that named after the daughter that died? Like, why would you refer to her like that? It had me confused out here. Okay, y'all, I'm tickled. Okay. Woo. So, y'all, I'm finna read this right here. And basically, it's speaking on why I can't have people around me with no faith. Like, you have no faith, you gonna be in the way of what God's trying to do. Like, God do not work around people that do not have faith. Even when Jesus was in his own hometown, he could perform very little miracles because the people had no faith. So if Jesus himself, God in the flesh, couldn't perform no miracles because of faith or lack of faith, I can't have you around me if you lack faith. I just can't have you around me. So I'm finna give you a dream of that, because this dealing with the daughter that died. And with the daughter that died, basically, they were trying to get Jesus to go heal this girl. And while they was in the process of getting Jesus to heal this girl, the room was filled with all the unbelievers. And so while the room is filled with all the unbelievers, Jesus had to put everybody out the room. He had to just get him out the room because he wasn't gonna be able to perform the miracle that he needed with unbelievers in this room, and he's trying to raise this girl up from the dead. He was like, y'all unbelievers, y'all get out. And he had to put everybody out the room except for the mama, the daddy, because they are the spiritual covering over the child. So he had the mom and dad in there because they are the spiritual covering. They have to be there. And he brought 3 of his disciples. So out of 12 disciples, only 3 was allowed to go into the room. And he raised the girl up from the dead. So I'm going to read 3 different versions of this, because it comes from Matthew, Mark, and Luke. 3 of his disciples wrote on this. So I'm going to try to read each one to see if it's something different, because they got different perspectives maybe. And that's what I'm speaking on. And it just confirming that if you don't have faith, you cannot be around me. Because when I go out, I move on faith. Like, I just move on faith down here. And if you got unbelief, you is not finna block me from what I'm trying to do out here, period. If I'm out here, I'm walking on faith, and you with unbelief and you beside me, God ain't gonna do nothing with you right there. You gonna have to be cut completely from me for me to do what I need to do out here. So I'm finna go into this now. So this coming out of Matthew 9:23 is where I'm gonna start, because it's like a long story, and then some other stuff going on too. So I'm just trying to get straight to when Jesus healed the girl. So it's like, when Jesus came into the ruler's house and saw the flute players and the noisy crowd wailing, he said to them, "Make room, for the girl is not dead but sleeping." And they ridiculed him. But when the crowd was put outside, he went in, took her by her hand, and the girl arose. And the report of this went out into the land. So that right there, that's Matthew account of it. It's very vague, but one thing that stood out to me was when he talked about all this noise. Like, you got all these flute players, all these noise. Like, Jesus had to get rid of all that. Like, Jesus, like, I can't do nothing with all this right here, all this unbelief what y'all got going on. I can't operate in this type of energy. I can't operate and do what I need to do in this environment. Y'all are limiting me because y'all lack of faith. And then even when he told them that the girl is asleep, they all ridiculed and laughed at him. So he ended up just getting everybody out the room. He had to get rid of the whole crowd in order to do what he was trying to do to heal that little girl. So while these people is crying because of the little girl dead, and then Jesus is there to perform a miracle, they still are stumbling blocks from him performing the miracle that he needs to perform because of their unbelief and their lack of faith. So he just had to get rid of them. Like, they couldn't be nowhere in the room with him while he's trying to do with this little girl. So I'm finna go to another chapter now. I'm going to Mark. So this Mark 5:35. And like I said, it's 3 different disciples, so they got 3 different versions of this. So I like to read all 3 versions, because one version might be missing with the other version not missing. So right here, Mark chapter 35, with Mark 5:35, it's saying, while he was still speaking, some came from the rulers of the synagogue's house and said, "Your daughter is dead. Why trouble the teacher any further?" As soon as Jesus heard the word that was spoken, he said to the ruler of the synagogue, "Do not be afraid, only believe." And he permitted no one to follow him except Peter, James, and John, and the brother of James. Peter, James, and John, the brother of James. Then he came to the house of the ruler of the synagogue and saw a tumult and those who wept and wailed loudly. When he came in, he said to them, "Why make this commotion and weep? This child is not dead but sleeping." And they ridiculed him. But when he had put them all outside, he took the father and mother of the child and those who were with him and entered where the child was lying. Then he took the child by the hand and said to her, "Talitha Kumi," which is translated, "Little girl, I say to you, arise." Immediately, the little girl arose and walked, for she was 12 years of age. And they were overcome with great amazement. But he commanded them strictly that no one should know it, and said that something should be given her to eat. So this is Mark account, and if you look at Mark account, it don't talk about how they had the flutes playing in the background. Like, it don't really talk about that type of noise that was going on. But Matthew kind of stressed that it was just a bunch of noise. He do speak on noise, and Jesus still looking at them like, what is wrong with y'all? Like, y'all ain't got no faith. Like, y'all sitting here crying for the girl, but y'all don't even got the faith to even believe that she could even be healed from what she got going on. So he ended up keeping the mom and dad in the room, and he kept 3 of his disciples, and they all went in the room together and healed the daughter and raised her from the dead. I'm going to read the last account, and it's coming out of Luke. So this is Luke 8:48. Well, Luke 8:49. It say, while he was still speaking, someone came from the ruler of the synagogue's house, saying to him, your daughter is dead. Do not trouble the teacher. But when Jesus heard it, he answered him, saying, do not be afraid, only believe, and she will be made well. When he came into the house, he permitted no one go in except Peter, James, and John, and the father and mother of the girl. Now all wept and mourned for her. But he said, do not weep. She is not dead, but sleeping. And they ridiculed him, knowing that she was dead. But he put them all outside, took her by her hand, and called, saying, little girl, arise. Then her spirit returned, and she arose immediately. And he commanded that she be given something to eat. And her parents were astonished. But he charged them to tell no one what had happened. Okay, that's the Luke's account. And basically, in that account, when they cried out to God, like, you got all these people crying and weeping and mourning and making all this noise. Like, I don't want, like, spiritually, I just don't want all that noise in my ear. I just don't want it around. Like, I don't want to be around no noise. For one, I'm trying to hear God. And if it's too much noise around me, I cannot hear God with all that noise. So, my space, I'm talking about my everyday space when I'm out, it got to be quiet. It got to be, I don't need all that. I need to hear God. And I can't hear God if everybody around. I can't do it. My tolerance is 0. But when you deal with this right here, you dealing with Jesus, who was going on behalf of a little girl that he heard had died. And in the process, he was hit somebody. He was put in a position where it was a delay. Well, it wasn't really a delay, but he was on his way to the house, and then something had happened. And so by that time, he started hearing reports that the girl had died. So he was just telling them before they even got there to believe. To believe. Like, how are you going to ask God for something, but you don't believe? You got to have faith. Faith without works is dead. You can't sit around ask God for something, but have no faith in what you asking for him to do for you. Like, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Faith activates everything. So if you asking something from God, you have to back it with faith. You just got to back it with faith. And God knows if you got the faith or not. He knows you really truly believe it. It just ain't there. And so right here in this instance, you got people that want Jesus to heal this girl. But then when Jesus say that the girl is asleep, everybody start laughing and making fun of him for saying that the girl is asleep and not dead. So it's like, sometimes you block your own blessings. Like, sometimes you just in the way of your own blessings out here. Sometimes the people you got around you is blocking you from your blessings. That too. Because right here, when you deal with Jesus going to the little girl, and you got all these crowds of people playing all these instruments, crying, reaping, and weeping, and doing all this other extra stuff, making all this extra noise, and ain't nobody got no faith. Everybody laughing. Like, Jesus got all them out the way. And sometimes you have to clean up your circle, and you got to get these people out your way for you to do what you're trying to do out here. Like, sometimes that's just what you're going to have to do. And so when I look at that story, now he had the mom and daddy because they are the spiritual authority over the daughter. So he got the mom and dad in the room because they are the spiritual authority and spiritual covering over the daughter. He cannot heal their daughter without the mom and daddy, both the people who are spiritually authorized to be around the girl. He ain't gonna be able to do it without them. So he had them, and he had 3 of his disciples to come with him to heal her. But when I look at that story, and I look at all these crowds of people, and how You got people that you're going to sit back and laugh at your struggle, what you got going on. You might need to get rid of some of them people. Like, you might need to downsize your circle out here so you can get the miracles and God can step in on your situation dealing with what you got going on. And I'm also getting out of it that you're going to have faith in what you asking God to do for you. Like, you can't sit around boo-hoo cry out to God but have no faith. God can't do nothing with that. God can't move and operate like that. Like, you're going to have faith. Like, you asking God to do something for you, you're going to have to put some faith behind what you asking God to do for you. And you're going to have to remove yourself around people who don't believe. If you got people around you and they don't believe what you got going on, and they sit and ridicule you and joke and laugh, you might need to kind of get them out the way. You're going to have to get them out the way. So that's what I'm getting out of that whole story. And that's the reason why I told you that I keep my circle small. I keep my circle small for that reason, because I'm out here, I move on faith. I move on faith. And if you around me and you ain't got no faith, why is you around me? Because God is not going to do nothing that needs to be done if I'm around people that do not believe. Now, if God have people that don't believe around me, maybe he's trying to show them his signs, miracles, and wonders. But for the most part, I keep my circle small because I move by faith down here. And I ain't got time to be going back and forth with you, trying to get you out the room so I can perform the miracles I need performed in here. Like, I ain't got time for that. So y'all, I'm gonna let y'all go. But that's what I was getting out of it. Like, sometimes you might have to downsize your circle if you're around people that do not believe in you, that ridicule, that laugh at what's going on, and you have no lack of faith. Sometimes you could be your own stumbling block. So you asking God to do all this stuff for you, but you blocking yourself because you don't have the faith. Sometimes it could be the people around you. You got all these people around you, and I'm sure this little girl, when she died, it was loved ones that was probably around her. Sometimes you got loved ones that's around you that don't have the faith. They don't have the faith to support you. And if they don't have the faith to support you, it will create a hindrance for God to do what he's trying to do with you. Their lack of faith can trickle down into what you're trying to get done and what you want him to do for you. And he can block that. So sometimes you have to remove people that just do not have faith. You just got to remove them and keep it pushing. Really. So y'all, I'm talking to y'all later. Enjoy y'all day.